Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to another Angry Birds movie set review, and this one's on the Pig City Teardown from 2016. So on the front of the box here, we have the Lego Angry Birds movie logo and main border as all the sets do. You see picture of the set that there is with a bit of Pig City in the background, and also choking hazard, all the minifigs included, and something that for an app that there was at the time. And then recommended ages is 7 to 14. Set number 75024 has 386 pieces. And now onto the back of the box, see another view of the set and all the features around it, which there's a lot of, and Lego logo, set number again, and Lego.com, of course, and that's about it with the box. And now onto the two instruction manuals, which get two of in this set. On the back, the first one, how to win on the online survey, and then advertisement of the website that there was at the time, and halfway through the build that there is. And then second manual, which a lot thinner, and on the back side, how to show the Catapult feature of all, and a few red feathers around, and all the pieces that come with the set, of course. Then the last building steps. So not only advertisements for the other sets, kind of strange, but whatever. And that's about it there. Now, first of which for the minifigs is obviously Red, who obviously comes in all the sets, but the only thing that varies is expression, and obviously here a little bit more angry to that. But aside from that, that's still nice to have. Then yeah. And now on to our next fig. And next to which the only exclusive fig to this set, Stella. Even though it did have kind of a standalone line to her at one point, that there is. But aside from that, the arms of which still same mold as like Red and Chuck and a couple others, but now in pink. And however, the sculpting for all of her done quite good and well captures the movie appearance, and also of course the beak part, which like some of the other figs is still kind of soft rubber, obviously for safety reasons, and also some like feathers on top with the darkish pink on there, looking really nice, and the printing quite good for how it is. And also had for the backside with her dark pink tail feathers, also good for how it is. But yeah, and that's about it with Stella. And next to which is one of two of the green pigs, which obviously the molding with the traditional minifig arms and hands, of which, however, the rest of which is still the same, same as for all the sets, but obviously different prints for the expressions for that. And there's same molding for the tail that there is, and obviously this which a quite excited kind of expression to it. But yeah, and on to the second fig. Here's the second pig fig that comes with this set, but of course with a more scared expression, which is kind of fitting for one of the features in this set, which I'll show later. And that is about it with all the minifigs. And now on to the main builds. First for the builds is this little Catapult little assembly, which kind of similar to ones that come in a couple other sets, or in the smallest anger management set that there is, but luckily with a like blue tile piece in there, and compared to red on a couple others, and also those tile pieces that have prints on them to look like planks of wood, which nice to see for that, and also all resting on a 2x or a 4x8 plate, how that is. And of course the feature is take your bird figs and of course launch them right off for that. So, and there's plenty of that action in this set, but yeah. And so now on to the main build of the set. And now on to Pig City itself. which, as you see, the design of which kind of crazy looking for that, well, kind of fitting to this theme. But although in one review said that this design kind of a little Dr. Seuss like, but although it's still fitting to this theme for that. Although some of these designs can be workable in a mock related to something out of Dr. Seuss if you wanted, but yeah. And of course the design looks for that, well, I have mentioned all that in my first review for that. So now on to the one section of it. Here's this first section, which has a half a cylinder piece, but with a trough full of ice cream cones in there. And also what you kind of notice is, like with the movie, plenty of fun, kind of funny jokes and gags that there are. Like this one, saying pig phone and phone spelt with an F, kind of funny. But yeah. And then further, which is this little ladder and also a little balloon piece. There's also which was first introduced with this theme, but yeah. And then also have this little ladder piece that on this little blue or bright blue and white tower that there is. And also leading to this little stand that holds a hot dog on, or hot dog stand. Kind of strange how pigs are serving hot dogs. Well, assuming if these are all beef hot dogs, because hopefully they're not, don't want them to be cannibals. A little too dark and gruesome. And also have a couple condiments, which are mustard and ketchup. And also, what's kind of missing is the sausage piece and hot dog bun piece, which was all new for this theme. But which I have kind of misplaced, so sorry. Well, sorry for that. And so the main feature of this hot dog stand, which there's a lot of collapsible features of this set, which if you have the catapult piece, or the catapult piece from earlier, it's where they come in to that. First obvious one with this hot dog stand just knocks right over, quite effective for that. And then as for this building, which has these balloons and also some tile pieces to be a bridgeway, but if you or launch the birds at it, then it just collapse right off. Also is quite effective. And then to the next side, which is on standing on some clear panel pieces on there, and also a couple of longer brown bricks that there are. And also is a little beach house sort of build, comprised of mainly a bright blue, white, and yellow, which is a good, nice color scheme for it. And honestly, this you can kind of fit into your, which I think could work out in a beach section of a Lego city if you wanted. But then one side, which kind of bear it open with this traditional fence piece as well on both sides. And then, as you can see on the inside of which are the egg pieces, which are still used to this day. And of course, this was the first theme to introduce them. And that's about it with this section. And now onto this upper section, which a few more plates going on for that. And also there's some little Technic assembly, which corresponds to the features, and also have this little sign that says Piggy Bank Station or Piggyback Station. And for that, and also knows the little boulder or traditional rock piece on there, and also another balloon on the side is. But however, if you can launch a bird at it and just lets it slide down, and if the pig's not is not holding on to that bar piece, then you can just fly right off of that. So good, nice, fun feature. And also forgot to mention with this little station is a couple little wheel pieces on there, most likely to represent extra wheels for the cables that there are. But yeah, and that's about it there. And also back to this station is, if notice these build pieces that have the little fan piece there, but however it's kind of red to that gear there. And also another older piece that has a chain on it, but also let me zoom out. So basically, if you hit on that and boulder collapses, and it's supposed to knock off this little crate of dynamite pieces, which have been around in sets for a long time. And of course that has a little sign that says TNT, and also this little 2x4 brick with a plate or tile on it saying TNT on it, and it's printed for that. So this feature quite good for how it is. And so that's about it with the whole set of which. And now onto the verdict. And so now onto my final verdict on this set is, I think this is which one of the better sets of the theme, and also one of my most favorite Lego sets in general, of course. Mainly because this feels just about close to Angry Birds of how it is, where you launch birds at something with pigs on it, and obviously, oftentimes it's kind of hard to launch pigs at anything in this set. So obviously, like the mobile app games, it also gets challenging there too. So this is a good sentiment of how, or best example, how Lego Angry Birds should be like. Like, even though this may be related to the Angry Birds movie, and unless if you made little small builds of the app game versions of it, then obviously workable too. But yeah. And whereas for the price of it, like $40 that it was in 2016, which may be a little bit more today, but however, it's still good, quite good for how it is. And also, like, even though you get about one exclusive fig, which is Stella, of course, and also, even though, unless if you are a fan of it, the like standalone line of Stella that there is, but whatever. But however, the builder, which is still quite good for how it is. And also, and of course, this build is rightful enough for the desktop or maybe nightstand or whatever else. Since, of course, have the whole launch with the launching feature and so on. But however, this which, well, maybe $40 back in 2016, but actually it's still quite good for that price point. So kind of a sign where you got plenty of good fun stuff for a cheap price. But yeah. And also this set also workable as a good parts pack with a lot of white and bright blue and so on. But yeah. And I guess that's about it there. And so now, if any of you still have this set from back in the day, well, I hope you had some good memories of it. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get this set, I'd say definitely pick it up. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that is it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.